Hey guys, today I want to talk to you a little bit about something called properties. Properties are different qualities of items. So like for instance, my shirt is black, that's a property. Color is a property. Texture, it's soft, that's a property. It's made of cloth, that's a property. It's not really shiny. Those are all properties. So with properties, there are two different categories. There are physical properties and there are chemical properties. Physical properties are things that are true about it physically. Like for instance, this is metal, okay? Another physical property is that it's shiny. Another physical property is that it conducts heat. Like if I were to leave this on the stove and then come back to it later and try and pick it up, it'd probably burn me. Those are physical properties. We'll talk more about chemical properties in the next part of this particular activity, but for right now, I just want you to focus on physical properties, okay? So for this activity, what you're going to need is a plate, and I don't have any plates that are white, and I want you to be able to see what we're doing, so I'm going to use this blue lid as my plate. Then you're going to need some powders. Now, I have sugar, I have flour, I have salt, and I have baking soda. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put a little tiny bit on my plate of each one of these powders, and I'm going to have to make sure I know where they are on the plate. Now, when I say a little tiny bit, less than 1/4 of a teaspoon. So less than this little tiny spoon. If we were at school, you would use an even smaller little spoon than this, but smaller than 1/4 of a teaspoon. So I'm going to set up my plate next. Ready? Okay, so what I have here is I have flour, I have baking soda, I have salt, and I have sugar. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the physical properties of these. Now you guys were supposed to print off a table that you can write down what the physical properties of the different powders that you're working with are. So like for instance, I can see that this sticks to my finger whenever I touch it, when this one doesn't as much. And I can look at the difference of the texture, so how it feels between my fingers. I can look at the colors and look at how the colors might be actually different. I can look at the size of the grain. I can look at all sorts of things to physically tell them apart. Now, if I am going to physically tell them apart, I need to take some good notes. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to matter for whenever you get to part 3. Because in part 3, your notes are the only thing that's going to help you out in the challenge that you're going to have. So you're going to go through, you're going to look at each one of these powders, and you're going to see what are the properties of each one. And you're going to write it down. So finish that, and I'll show you what the next part is.